Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome back to F1 2020 here for FTR round 13, the Hungarian Grand Prix, and we start typically in qualifying obviously because there is no practice, and we're doing a run on the mediums. This is most likely going to be, well, what we want to be our starting tyre. The medium to hard strategy is by far the superior one, and we don't really want to be running anything else. The softs, the two-stop is far too slow, and the softs in a one-stop die off massively, and then the hards also die off quite heavily towards the end of the race. And we'll go through our lap here. So far been pretty decent, pretty clean, but unfortunately we invalidate the lap here. So this has put us in a very awkward position of, do we go for a run on the mediums again? We have the fuel to do it, but our tyres aren't going to be as fresh as we want. We're going to have a lap older tyres. Or do we start on the softs and try something different, something fancy? And we're going to answer that question very soon, as we are going to peel off into the pit lane here. We still have time to think about going out on the mediums again, but what I can tell you is we're not actually going to do that. We're going to go out on the softs, and we are going to favour track position. During the test races, the soft to hard was bad. It was worse than the medium to hard, but it wasn't terrible. And a track like Hungary, you don't really need to. Track position is pretty much king around here. It's like Monaco without the barriers is what it's known as. We're starting our final run in qualifying, and with the setup I'm running, me and Alex are both very quick in a straight line. 611 wings also keeps the tyre temperatures under control, so we don't have to worry about overheating. We just got to worry about tyre wear, and I feel like I'm very good at managing tyre wear. It's going to be more difficult for Alex as he's on the mediums, or on the pad rather, despite all the advantages that brings. So hopefully we can put a decent lap in here for qualifying. We're actually down on our previous best going through the first sector split. Go through this long right hand. They're very easy to spin the car on the inside curb, but luckily we don't, and we gained a bit of time going into the chicane. Absolutely chucked the car in there, and we have a very nice run through there using up all the exit space. Now through this middle sector, important to be very gentle with the car, as the tyres are going to start to overheat towards the end of the lap. And as we go through the second sector split, we are purple, so we should be off for a decent lap here. So we're only 6 tenths behind our teammate. The gap is 3 tenths. Alex invalidated his final flying run, so he could be under threat for me getting pole position here. As we're going to come through the final corner, we are about 2.5 tenths up. We get a good exit here, which we do, but it's not enough to improve massively. We go P2, a tenth behind our teammate, and it was very close. If we'd have had a better first sector, we would have definitely been a lot closer. But interestingly enough, Daisy has elected to qualify on the mediums. So probably the main championship rival for Alex is starting further back on the better strategy, as Red Gorilla takes an interesting line into the pit lane. Yeah, Daisy's starting on the mediums, so that's interesting. Chris not setting a lap time, potentially wanting to start on the hards. PWR Verline, another very quick driver who's entered the league, is going to be starting on the softs as well. So hopefully me and Alex can get off to a decent start, and we can use our world-renowned teamwork, although teamwork is difficult, to control the pace. I can hang back, become a raid gunner, because that's what I've elected myself to be, is an aid for Alex in this championship. But we're just deciding on our strategy now. It looks like I'm going to be pitting lap 8, Alex is going to be pitting lap 7. And we're going to be overfueling the car quite a bit, as even though I usually run lean quite a lot around this track, you still want to overfuel the car. Although safety cars could be a factor in this race. We don't usually have too many in Tier 1, and there's only 10 people, so I wouldn't worry about it all too much. And now we've got 3, 4, 5 red lights for the start of the Hungarian Grand Prix, and it's lights out and away we go. We get a pretty crap start compared to my teammate who gets a perfect start. Daisy has got an insane start. He's already up into 4th before we get to turn 1. And going into turn 1 here, it's all pretty clean. We managed to squeeze out Verline, and Daisy is up into P4. Westy's also starting on the mediums, and now Daisy's up into third already, sweating his way throughout the entire week, just practicing. And yeah, now we're going to be under threat from him, so I've got to try and stick within Alex's DRS here, and he's going to have to try and drag us along to keep us, or to keep Westy, or keep Daisy behind as long as possible, and that is the main goal here. Daisy in the practice races and on time trial was considerably quicker than myself, and a little bit quicker than Alex, so he is the favourite to win this race, but hopefully our teamwork can help us win this. And Alex has already pulled out of a second here, and my main goal at this point, after lap 2 or 3, my softs are going to become considerably worse than Daisy's mediums. Our goal here is to hold Daisy up as much as humanly possible. That way Alex is considerably safer towards the end of the race, and there's a lot bigger breathing margin towards Daisy. So let's see how long we can keep him behind as we come to the end of lap 6 here. Starting lap 7, we've still managed to keep Daisy behind. We did pick up a 3-second time penalty. Daisy's going to breeze past us here. We really couldn't keep him behind for much longer, but we have allowed Alex to get about 2 seconds up the road, and that 2 seconds is going to prove crucial as Daisy just shoves us off the track there, and we're going to lose a position to Westy now. So very sportsmanlike there, not leaving any room at all. Now we're going to be pitting the lap after this. Alex is pitting this lap, so Daisy getting past has sort of come at the right time, because he really won't have much in the way of tyres to catch up to my teammate. Is Alex pitted, went onto the hards. We're going to pit and come onto the hards now. We're going to come out behind PWR Verline, who pit really early. Pit on like lap 4, lap 5 maybe, has gone for a massive undercut, and it's going to pay off for him. However, his tyres are going to be even worse shape than ours come the end of the race. And then we've got a couple of people who haven't pitted. I think Websy did actually pit, but he's doing the 2-stop. And Chris hasn't pitted, he's on the hard compound tyres. And as we come on to lap 14, Daisy's coming into the pits, and he's actually going to jump us here. Because why not, I guess. Yeah, Daisy jumped us quite massively. So we're currently effective P4 now. Although with time penalties, we have been very lazy around this track. Not very consistent around here, as Chris has spun at the exit of the chicane on his hard tyres. So he's going to have to pit and come in for the mediums and try and nurse those to the end. Luckily, Daisy has a penalty, and that's going to ease the pressure on Alex a little bit. As we come to lap 20, Verline is struggling quite a bit. He has been on those tyres for 15 laps. Ours are considerably newer, and we're hopefully going to try and get past him as soon as possible, because we don't want to let Westy close to the back of us here. He's going to have fresher tyres, and we have one more penalty that he does. So we go up the inside of Verline there, pretty standard move, using ERS to get past him, and we can now just try and pull away as quick as possible. Hopefully Verline becomes a buffer to Westy and holds him up for a few laps. As we come on to lap 28, Verline actually pitted again for a set of mediums maybe, or a set of hards, as Daisy comes into the pits for a set of softs. It's interesting as to why he's done that. I don't think he was actually catching my teammate. I know that Alex was very, very comfortable on the hard tyres and was a lot faster. As Westy tries to go up our inside here, we're going to give him a little bit of a squeeze. But yes, Alex was a lot more comfortable on the hards, so I guess Daisy's going to try and go for fastest lap and try and work his way back into second. But currently it's an Alfa Romeo 1-2. Hopefully we've got to let Westy get another penalty, as unfortunately we pick up another penalty, so that's now 9 seconds worth of penalties, and we're now actually under threat from losing the podium altogether, as Callum is only 4 seconds behind and he is on only 3 seconds worth of penalties. So hopefully, as at this point I was begging Callum to get another penalty, as Daisy picks up another penalty, and another one at the end of lap 31. He's fighting away with Callum here, and apparently it didn't go too well as he just retires on track. Oh, he's going to come into the pits and retire. I guess the soft's not working out too well for him. I don't know why you'd throw in the towel if you become the fastest person in the league and you're fighting for a championship, but that's his choice. So that's helped Alex out a lot more. He's basically got a free 25 points over Daisy and is probably going to secure or put one hand on the trophy at least. And as you can see, we are not really pulling away from Westy, and we look pretty set on losing. We're obviously going to lose second place to Westy, but hopefully in these last 2 laps Callum can get another penalty, or he can drop out of 6 seconds to us as Westy goes up our inside here. We try and go the long way around. He doesn't really turn back to force the corner, he sort of closes the door or like forces us out a little bit too wide. But he's run out of ERS. So what we're going to do here is we're going to try and stick behind him and try and get past him on the main straight. As we have probably about 10 or 15% more ERS than him, and that is a considerable amount, especially around Hungary. Our tyres are starting to die off massively though. As you can see, they're about 70% now. Callum is obviously going to be closing up massively here as we get another warning, so I think we're only 1 or 2 warnings away from 12 seconds worth of penalties. We look at least set at the very least to get P4 in this race, but we're going to be coming around the final corner now to start the last lap of the Hungarian Grand Prix, and hopefully we can try and get past Westy as we now deploy the overtake and open the DRS. And you can see the closing speed here. We're going to try for a move up the inside. It's a late lunge, and we just about, well, we don't get the move done as Westy had the momentum going around the outside. We're going to try for another look down here into turn 3, but unfortunately we aren't able to do anything, and that is pretty much it for overtaking opportunities gone. And going through the last part of the lap as we run wide against one more warning, and we do have a 12 seconds of penalties. Go through the last bit of the lap. I'm hoping that 2 things happen. Westy doesn't hold us up too much, and Callum drops outside of 3 seconds and picks up another time penalty. But unfortunately that is not going to happen. Luckily Alex is going to win the race though, so that's definitely going to be a big help in his championship, and you're going to hear he's going to be pretty happy with that race result. So I'm very happy for him. He definitely drove well. He was definitely the faster driver when it mattered. Unfortunately we're going to lose out on a podium, which is kind of annoying, but it happens. You can probably hear Alex complaining in the background because when he screamed he destroyed his throat, which was quite amusing. But a pretty decent race. We got very sloppy towards the end of it, picking up so many penalties which affected our result, but it happens. And 4th place is going to be good for my championship as well, as we have overtaken Casper and we've pulled more on Daisy. Now we've just got to close in Websy. So yeah, we're looking with 10 races left. We're looking good for maybe 2nd in the championship. We've just got to hope that we can get some good consistent results. And yeah, let me know where you think I'll finish. Will I manage to get 2nd in the championship, or will Websy hold on to it, or will someone else come away and steal it? And let us know if we will be able to hold on to the lead of the constructors. Let me know if you'll get any wins as well. Let me know your predictions for the rest of the season. Actually, I'm interested to see what you think. If you did enjoy this video, please do leave a like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you all for some more FTR content very soon.